and what a great gift idea this person had for his wife. He's American. He married to a Taiwanese lady with. Oh, this is not the. Can you pass me that design? I have a student watching me at the same time, so I'll show the process of carving a gift seal for someone. This name is Zhang Weizhen. It's Taiwanese name, a Chinese name, same. We have designed this on the computer. Usually I give the client several options. We designed or negative carving, which is the white stroke on the red background, or positive, which is the red strokes on the white background. We call yang and yin. So this is yin-yang combination. So the client has chosen this. So we're going to execute the carving. So first thing I'm going to do is to transfer the design onto the stone, and the stone comes with a polish, a wax. So we need to remove that. And usually, let me see, where's my glass? Oh, let me stop. Here. Sorry. Okay. The stone has a sometimes a rounded top. Some with a knob would be more fancy and more expensive. But some just the same. So you can actually use both sides to carve. Usually I decide based on the pattern, because this one looks nicer, so it would be good to hold more color. So this one is plain. Also, I need to see if there's a sand in it, like here, it will create trouble. Some unexpected chipping or hard, because they're not even. Some very glassy, some soft. The even part is this one. Okay, beside that, and I remove the wax comes with it, because this is a polish. So it will take the print. My daughter was also in art school, and she learned from her printing class how to transfer design from laserjet printer or copy onto another surface, not on stone though. With this acetone, it's a nail polish remover. Okay, and this is very powerful paint remover too. See my table, you see that's what it does. It removes the paints. So you can get it from hardware stores as a paint remover. Actually, it's good to wear a mask because it evaporates. Not good for your health. Just align, make sure it's centered, and press it like that. And before it gets completely dry, evaporate in like a few seconds. Yeah. And the best part of this is it's waterproof. So you can dust it with your sweaty hands, fingers. It won't remove. If you use ink, traditionally they use ink to flip it. You can use marker pen like to do the design directly without this preview, if you like. So we use some other tools. Let me show you. So I have a kind of wheel thing. So this is the basic version you can get from our stores if you want online. So this is basically a clamp that holds the stone. You don't have to use it. Actually, many artists do it without it. Just hold in hand. The last seal I did, it was very large. It won't fit any of my clamp, so I have to hold it. So this is the work, and I use a very large knife. You can use this one. This is more common size. For details, I use smaller. We have a set of this, and we sell this separately. Okay. The first thing I usually do is I cut the margin to make the slope a little smoother. So it's more like a relief rather than a flat plate, So the edge is softer when you make the print. It's not like a hard. So it's a little bit downy or feather, not feather. You don't want that. Just a little softer. And sometimes you see chipping, which is planned. We can do that later. Usually, we don't open the border yet. Just round up a little bit the corners. And this is what we call antiquarianism in art. We try to mimic, in clothing, there's fashion called vintage or something. You mimic the old fashion, the old used, like worn, something like you make the jean look very old, even with holes. That's that kind of same idea. Okay, so this half is positive, this is negative. The difficulty level is this is easier. This is more difficult because in either case, if you missed something, you have to erase it. So we got sandpaper around, and you can use it. So don't be afraid. Sometimes you can fix, but sometimes not. So it's all. That's why I make a video if something happens, and I can show the client this is what happened, and if even the design is approved, I can only get like 80% accurate maybe, because it's not like 3D printing, right? You have to carve it. I will use a smaller knife. When you cut, there's a back side and front side. The back side is where your finger is. That is smoother. With a smaller angle. The outside, maybe the other, is more rougher. It's rougher. So if you like a rough line, you cut against the line like this. A little bit. You don't touch the line. So let it chip. And depends on you have experience, and you can also just see what happens. So if you cut deeper, it will chip more, right? So and you hold just like a pencil basically, and I use my ring finger and small finger as a brake to resist, and I use my middle finger to push. And usually it's easier to go like horizontal, not like this. So you can turn the stone constantly. Yeah. When you reach the corner, you need to leave a little space. Maybe this is too wide, but I want you to know if you cut through, there's no way to make it up. So you have to be very careful when you reach the corner of this each intersection or crossing. So you need to leave a little space and then just use the tip to cut, to round it up, to finish. And you can start a little bit away from the corner to give yourself the option, the room for adjustment later. For this kind of size, you don't have uh, too much room for doing like a contour. You have to cut directly to the stroke. But sometimes we cut the contour around it, and then we do the flooring, scooping. So with a small seal, you still have that concept. I think you cut the contour and then clear the floor. That's basically, I cut the box for this section first, but you have to be careful, when you because they're quite close to the stroke, so I need to be aware of that. Oops, let me see. That corner is a little through. See, that happens. I have to kind of you just try to meet that. It's okay, not perfect square, right? Right. And another approach is to cut a ditch between, just like cut the envelope. You see, between strokes. Don't worry about the strokes. Just separate the sections, the large blocks first, and then work on details. So that's what I have been doing recently. Sometimes I develop a more convenient approach. So I just cut it between two strokes right now. It's safer to just kind of define the whole envelope, honestly. So this, like, it's separate the two sides, but you make sure there's a horizontal stroke that goes crossing the two. Oops. Very easy to touch the stroke. Even I don't want to at this point. Okay. And then just create a maze of that give you a strong supporting guideline when you do the final turning. So you basically just broaden that ditch between two strokes. This one. Okay. The middle. So it's a triangle. A skillful cutter just go like a two-stroke and it's done. Just so they don't go step by step. But if you student, you must go slow to have more control. This is the way I would suggest you go. So just cut around the stroke, and then you can broaden the ditch. Just cut deeper, and then naturally you will create a slope towards the uncut stroke. Because you already have a cut, and there's just very easy to broaden it. And some shape is not straight, that's not very helpful. So with that, I just you see, you have to consider both sides. So using the inner corner sometimes to put to cut kind of like triangle shape. Okay. This style takes more time, more cutting, but it's less skill required, just more patience, because you don't want to touch the stroke. But for the other side, you have to cut the stroke, not the background. So no matter what you cut out, the background for this style will work. That's why it's easier, I think. Just a little bit entrance there. Okay. This is thin line, very classical, called sometimes rounded, sometimes square. This one is in between, so there. I think it belongs to square thin line on the full on the. Can you bring me the book? I show you some styles. Yeah. So this style is featured like this, round, um, round thin line. So this one is similar to, and this is a square thin line. And this is another style called the bronze mirror style. They use for the mirror decoration. Sorry for the noise here. Okay. I think a smaller line may help to do this fine areas, details. Another thing is the end of the stroke or mimic the calligraphy. So there are some round like paths of a stroke. You need to indicate that to avoid the split end of the stroke or a pointed end or beginning, right? So these are our and the corners could be round or square or different. It's probably it. Okay, I'm going to do the other part. So this part, each stroke takes 2 cuts because remember the rough side and the smooth side. If you want both sides smooth, the only way to do that is cut all the upper side first, and then the lower side. Many people, beginner, they will turn the stone around to cut each stroke. You see this so small, so maybe just take 1 cut. It could be smooth on both sides, but usually the back side is smoother. Okay, so I cut all the upper side. Then you can cut all the strokes, horizontal strokes. This one first. Don't turn the stone, but keep the whole thing in mind. You know, like thickness and the parallel, just like the writing. Okay, then 90 degree this way to do all the verticals. You may have to go back to the other side, you know, to make it smooth. Let me see. This is considered like a horizontal. This is slant. So basically, you cut all the strokes from this direction. You turn the stone instead of working like this. You cannot do that. Right? So it's different, a little different than writing. Just have to turn the stone. This is a little angle. It's really slant. Okay. Oops. Okay. And a lot of irregular strokes here. I have to. This is a triangle shape. So just okay. You have to read carefully. If it's continuous stroke, you have to do it in 1 cut. Single cut is also a style. You don't have to make it smooth on both sides. It could be just a single cut. Dash. So that's basically now I'm going to change direction. So cut the bottom side. Repeat a little bit. Not too heavy, just kind of smoothen the edge a little bit. Where easily. You can repeat cut. You can also do this. Broaden it, in the same direction. That's also possible to make up another. Just like you do the boxing, one punch is not enough. Add another one. So that's okay. Try not to show the tip of the hard tip. That's the taboo. In calligraphy, we don't want to. We want to hide the tip. We do everything to hide the tip. Actually, they got from this seals, field of bronze and the stone. That's called in calligraphy because in bronze they used to cast the seal, not so it's like they make a model with a string kind of thing, so it's all rounded, right? And if they cut, yeah, so there's like all the joints are rounded with just like those what they call this gun with the electric and the what is the metals, what do you call that in metal art maybe. The joint must mimic those, so they are not straight perpendicular. There's a little roundness on each joint. That's you don't really see in this kind of detail. A small seal, but a larger seal will be more obvious. Okay, so that's about it. And if you make the stroke with the fatter, more white, we call it full white style. There's this thin white, and if you should, let me show you the negative style. We have this what we call the 细, meaning thin, 白纹, white stroke. This one is thin, and this one is thicker. This is this is man. Man means full white. Man means full white. Script. Yeah. So this one maybe we can make it more. Let me see. This is probably considered as the thin one. Then this is flipped, as it is easy to match this print on the. So I'm going to do a little bit adjustment. We call fine tuning. I rely on my experience. If you're not sure, you can always make an imprint and to see what needs to be adjusted. So this kind of area, like the joint, it's like smeared, bleed, right? That's natural part. So you want to mimic the kind of the triangular shape or on the joint part. These are dash and the vertical. There's a little triangular shape also. And the space between all the horizontals must be parallel and the same. That's a very fundamental structure of Chinese characters in all the styles, including this one. Usually. Okay. Oh, I missed a dash there. The stone is very easy to cut. Actually, this stone is not very hard. The other day I had a hard time and I got a bubble here. Very tough one. I just did last week. This is very easy. Okay. Be careful with the end. You don't want to go too far. Alright. I feel this one is not enough, but I cannot really see what's missing. So I'm going to make an imprint and see what happens. Okay. I'll just put on this. So because this is stone, so we use a rubber. You can get a rubber pad, and you can also just use a magazine. Take this out, and now I dust it. I usually don't blow it. You can blow it if you want in the end with the the duster with the when you clean what you use for cleaning electric devices. So probably I need more cutting. I cannot really see that. Let me see. This is seal paste. It's made of some kind of rig flag fiber. It has a body, not just just water based. It's oil based. It has some body in it. So it's fuller than the rubber stamp ink. Okay, later I'll put my signature on this side, on the left. So now I have to check. Okay. And press evenly. Don't have to press too hard. Okay, there's a lot of miss. Yeah, that's usually the case. So you don't want to, rather you have this than to go too soon. Okay. You get a piece of. You can use tissue, it's best, but at this point it doesn't matter. Tissue is softer, and this might rub off because we're very delicate working on pixel to pixel level. If you use the paper towel, you might want it too fast. So I have to make the stroke thinner. So you just broaden that cut between the stroke, right? So okay. Okay, I think maybe we can. Do you want me to show you finished work? Because this might take another most of the time. You can start to practicing if you want to. Yeah, you can use the dark stone that just let me the black stone. Okay. And just cut. Let me show. Let me get a. Okay, here. Let me give you a guide. So I'll draw some pattern that usually people use to practice. So just cut straight lines. So you just cut a border first. There's wax on it. I cannot draw. So just cut a line. See, and because you can still use the center for something else, right? Just cut a border like I did the slope, the corners, and then wax on this. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can use it. Oh. So I'll do fine tuning for a while. It's not very fun to watch. very, very delicate work. So basically just cut deeper and you'll get wider naturally. Okay, use this small one. How do you feel? Hard?
Yeah.
Okay. You can try to cut uh, something inside, just cut the border like this. Just try to cut a border, yeah, like just cut a line along the borderline, as if you cut a relief image inside. So just separate yeah, the inner side of the border. See if you can do that. Not very few, not very teacher to teach this craft here. So I'm really interested in. I used to teach a workshop doing this, but mostly now it's online. Yeah, you have to probably really see in person to get a feel. Um, yeah, try to make the corner a little rounded. Just leave a little space and then cut a diagonal, little diagonal. This will apply to all the falling corners like that. So a little practice is necessary. going to make another imprint to check the. It's a little better. Getting still not gonna work. This part. Okay, getting closer. The border, this side maybe a little bit too thick. This could be thinner. Just cut this off. You can also broaden from inside. So create this crop. And, okay. My goal is 80%. This pretty close. Okay. Okay. I think we're going to make a custom copy. This is the collection album I carved for the. It's on. I think it's down to the last page. Will be. Yeah, this is the last page. So I recently have done this yin-yang combination frequently. This is another example here. Usually, when you have a last name or last name is less stroke to balance because the white will look more balanced. If you do the stroke in the same style, it will not so balanced. Okay. Let's see. Cool, huh? Thank you. Let me make a custom copy. Oh, big. I just use the regular paper, see what happens. That is the rice paper. Same. Because it not absorb, so I don't have to load too much, I think. And you can, if I'm not wearing mask, I'll blow some moisture from my mouth to reduce the grains, make it smoother. That's very nice, huh? They're just patient, I think. Sometimes the slow is better than, making unrecoverable mistake. So that works always. Yeah, I think it got fiber in it, but with my ink pad need to stir. Yeah, this is the stir. It with a good set it comes with it. We also sell it separately, so you need to do this to make it smooth. This is spatula kind of thing. Yeah. And then you clean this. And this. Let's leave that out. Oh, I'll show you the signature part. It usually is on the left side. This is the upside. This side. I'll just cut the signature there. And you can put just any mark to indicate the orientation. That's one signature. Put it in the box like this. And it will be your gift. I'll just put this one. So I'm going to start the video. Is anybody watching? 2 people, not so many. It's probably too boring to watch because I usually have a zoom camera. You don't really see it here. Let me show them the result. Thanks for watching. Oopsie. Okay. Now we